You need to shut the fuck up.
Hey, motherfuckers. This is Minx. Suck my balls.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
Put on your uniform, right?
Expert Action Badge.
Show up to work on time.
Expert Action Badge.
Qualify on your
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
Find your guide on.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your noble warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action. The voice of U.S. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge.
This is Randy Couture, and you're listening to WTF Nation Radio.
Goodness, hello everybody, it's Friday. Hi, it's Minx, and I'm with Pookie. Hello, Pookie.
Hey.
Whoa, shit.
Hey.
Shit, gotta turn you down. Hello. No,
oh, turned up.
he just came in. Whoa. Unnecessary, my good sir. Hello, it's Friday. So excited. Actually, no, I did not work all week this week.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, so like Monday we had the day off, right? Tuesday I had 102 fever. Wednesday I still had the fever. And then Thursday, Friday was low days. So my manager texted me and she's like, "Hey, we don't need you to come in Thursday or is that okay?" And I'm like, well, if you don't need to come in, like, do I really have a choice? Like, because I don't know. I don't like going to work and then just sitting there and not doing anything. Like, I want to go to work to work. So, yeah. So, yeah, I didn't fucking work at all this week. It's great, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really do anything. I slept in. Amazing.
That's always good.
Right? I think so. How was your week, Pookie?
Well, I was sick at the beginning of this week, too, actually. There's like a bug going around. It was like knocking people out. I don't know what it was.
The flu?
I guess that's what it was. I don't know.
Right.
Well, besides that, like I was busy today. I was keeping busy, just taking care of crap because it's like 20 degrees out all day.
Oh, that's right. You guys are finally getting down to, like, it being cold. Texas.
That's been cold all week.
Dude, Texas, we've got back up to, like, 50 degrees here today. And I was like, this is, like, shorts weather after this last week that we've had. It's ridiculous. Like, on,
right now.
What was it? On Wednesday, I was, like, out in just a long sleeve shirt. And I was like, oh, this is nice. I should have just worn a t-shirt. Help. I'm turning into like a cold weather person. Texas, stop it. It's not okay. Oh my goodness. So what about you, Mom? Ma.
No. Sorry, I didn't unmute. I've been sick too. I think we just all need to quit breathing over our mics and giving each other the germ.
Right. It's like contagious. It's like an STD, but like an RTD, so like a radio transmitted disease.
So your ears won't be affected, just the mic.
Right, yeah, exactly. Oh my my goodness. So, thank you everybody for joining in and watching us. Obviously, if you're here on Facebook Live, thank you so much. Mixer, hello everybody. YouTube, hello. Freaking, are we on that Twitch thing with Twitter?
Yes.
We're
right? Not like live on Twitter. We're just on there tweeting tweets like Donald Trump.
Dude, I don't think we can ever get to his level. Like, let's be honest. I don't think anyone is going to go to Twitter headquarters and throw up fucking marquees and, lights that say ban WTF Nation Radio. And I don't think we're gonna get there.
No, probably
that
not.
would be awesome, though.
It would be, and it's not like we don't have enough witty people on staff, because let's face it, we're all just a bunch of assholes here on staff, and we're kind of witty. Me only part of the time. Sometimes I'm just like, what's going on? So yeah. No, I don't think we'd ever get banned, though. Okay, so speaking of that, I know myself and KJ, we were going to fight about this yesterday. And that I know KJ wants Trump's Twitter, or he wants President Trump to be banned from Twitter. And he's all for it. Whereas me, my whole thinking of it is if you ban one person, then you need to ban all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Does he get a bit excessive on Twitter? Yeah. But then you know what you do? If you don't like it, you take your thumb and you go, doo-doo, and you scroll past it. It's amazing. Or you just unfollow. Or, whatever.
Isn't there a meme that says, offended, learn to scroll, fuckface?
Right? Yeah, that one, or the one that Ice put up yesterday, and it was the 20th Century Fox movie one, but it's offended, learn how to scroll, fucker. And it's true though. I see and I used to follow a lot of left-leaning pages on Facebook because I like some of the shit that thanks, Justin. Fucker. Where I used to like what they used to post, right? But then they got into politics, and it was obviously, it was rather obvious which way they lean. And it's God, I'm sick of this. So what I do, I either just kept scrolling, shocking, I know, or I just unfollowed the page, and it was now I don't have to see it, fucking, they're able to keep their First Amendment rights, and I no longer have to get bothered by it. Isn't it a win-win?
Yeah, so, I follow those pages just for the simple fact I love trolling them. That's just me. Bernie Sanders is my favorite page to go to troll people. I get people so triggered, it's not even funny.
Oh my God.
I can imagine.
Right.
All you have to say is there is no wage gap, and bam, everyone's blowing up.
Oh my God, that triggers so many people. Right? If you go the wage gap is made up. That's all you got to say. And women literally will come out the goddamn woodworks. You're wrong. And am I? It's so much fun. But yeah, so I personally, I don't think his Twitter should be shut down. I don't think his rights to Twitter should be stopped. I think it's hilarious, the meltdown that at least half the country has and all of our media has whenever he says something. And perfect example, I shared something the other day on my Real Book where Kim Jong-un says how he's going to eradicate the United States in fire and fucking whatever, right? And then everybody's silent, right? Nobody says anything. But then Donald Trump tweets something, and they're like, "Oh my God, stop it! This man is dangerous." It's Is he?
That's because the little Kim is a socialist / communist, and no one gives a shit about that.
That's right. That's right.
He's just protecting the sovereignty of his nation.
Right. Oh, okay. Right. The nation that he accidentally bombed himself. Whoops.
Oh, shit, I saw that.
But the thing is though, is that he bombed his own country in April, and like we're just now hearing about this. Yeah, fucking. So where's that article? Oh, here it is. So an intermittent range missile launched by North Korea last April. Now again, last April, but it's just now being reported. Crashed into a town near their capital, possibly causing an explosion and casualties. The Diplomat reported on Wednesday. The IRBM was launched April 28th, 2017, near Pukchang. Oh, did I nail that? I don't know. Airfield in South Paigon province, and was the third in a series of failed launches that month. Dude, could you imagine if it had actually, if they had bombed their own goddamn capital?
That would have been so epic.
Oh!
You know what would have actually even been better? It would have actually landed across the DMZ by accident, and then it would have just started World War III.
No. I'm all about, let's spread democracy and, fucking we're going to show everybody what a badass America is. But at the same time, I don't wish for war, I think that war is, a last ditch effort, right? It should never be the go-to thing for me. That's just me.
I believe in natural selection, and war is the number one way to naturally select people, so...
Right. Oh, hi, Faith. No, but, what was I going to say? Shit. No, but okay, so conspiracy theory. What if this was not done by accident?
It was, targeted towards, a group of people that were, against the regime?
Well, no, the report says is that the missile hit a town right outside of the capital. What if one of their engineers has defected and purposely punched in those coordinates in order to bomb the capital? And the missile just not didn't make it there.
Because they're known for not making their missiles too good. I get what you're saying.
Right. But no, okay.
I don't know.
Justin, no, I'm not from the Northeast. All right, I'm from California. 1. 2, I'm drinking Miller Lite because that's the beer that is in my house right now. And it's not bad. It's not a bad Pils. And so I don't know what to tell you. Except it's Miller Lite. And I don't know what to tell you. But see now my head's thinking on this whole thing with North Korea, and that it may have been intentional.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the little man to bomb his own people.
Well, no. But see, is it known for a fact that little Kim is at every missile launching? To wave at it as it goes away.
I don't know. That might be propaganda. He might be standing 1,000 miles away, waving his hand somewhere.
Right? We don't know, because again, they don't let news agencies in there. But obviously, he's not above bombing his own people. I mean, he starves them, and apparently exposes them to anthrax as well. So there's that.
I also seen that.
Huh?
I said I also seen that. I guess that defector had natural immunity to anthrax.
Right? That's awkward. Because
unless the soldiers are getting anthrax shots that we don't know about, and he's preparing biological weapons as well as nuclear weapons.
I mean, that's also a possibility. Like, you know, I'm sure if you tested my blood, you'd find the anthrax antibody in there. Although
exactly.
I only had 4 out of the 5 series. I didn't get the last one.
I was boosted up.
I do know, though, is that I never got the smallpox one. Suck a dick, bitches.
How the hell did you get away with not getting that?
Because at the time, right, I was on Adderall. And so what is Adderall if not legal methamphetamine? And what does meth do to people? It makes them break out. And like cystic acne, right? It was not cute. It was not cute. And like I would get them along my upper back, right? And on my shoulders. It's not a cute time for me. And like along my chin and stuff. Ugh. It's not cute. But no, so I had like, so I told him, you know, like, oh, I like break out along my upper back. And then 2, I'll pick at the scab. Hands down. Like I am a picker. I'll pick at it. And they're like, yeah, no, you're not getting this. I know I'm not, because I'll pick at it, which, you know, again, you're not supposed to do, you know, like you're just supposed to let it be there. I can't do that. Like, it's so bad. If I get any sort of scab anywhere, like if I cut myself somewhere accidentally, like it's like this uncontrollable urge to like pick it off. And I have to do it. Same with like,
I'm the reverse.
Dude, same with like if I see people with like blackheads, I have to get it. It is so bad. Like I've done it to my patients before where I'm like, holy shit, like this person has blackheads everywhere. Let me help him out. Like, patient will be asleep, awake, I don't care. Like, I'm like, hey, can I get this? And every time I've asked because they've been awake, they're like, yeah, sure, go for it. I'm like, yes.
That shit freaks me out.
And like, I know for sure I'm not the only one who is like this, right? Especially in the area that I work in. One of the nurses that I work with, she has like a popping, like picking fetish too. I guess you could call it a fetish. I don't know. Like, I don't get off on it sexually because that's disgusting. But it's like this OCD-ness. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Dr. Pimple Popper. Yes. I watch those videos all the time. All the time. Oh God. It's so satisfying when it's all done and everything's out and it's just, so satisfying.
That's like seeing those videos where like the guys got bit by the spider or whatnot, and it's all like this massive pus-filled sack, and they're just like draining it out. It's like,
Yeah, it's so satisfying when you get it all out, and you're like, oh yes, okay, it's done, it's over. True story. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Hey guys. Okay, so Oregon apparently is having a major meltdown, in that they now have to pump their own gas. And apparently this is a big deal for people, right? Oregonians, is that what they're called?
Oregonians.
Oregonians or Oregonians, even, if you will. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, so the Oregon natives are losing their fucking mind over this new law that has come about where they have to pump their own gas.
It's the law is actually rural areas now, between certain areas they can pump their own gas. Yeah. That's what it is.
But if you read some of the comments, like on these threads, the comments are hilarious, especially by people who are not from Oregon. Well, okay, because like one of the comments that I read was this one chick who's from Oregon, and she's like, what if this bad roadie comes up to my car while I'm pumping gas, and he makes off with my kids. And
seriously?
Yeah. She was so worried, like, that some random road traveler was going to abduct her children or, abduct her if she were to actually step out of her car to pump her own gas.
Oh.
So.
I don't know. I've seen some funny pictures floating around on the internet, but I don't know if they're from Oregon or not.
Right, yeah, exactly. Remember, Oregon, the green one is eco-friendly. You're welcome. But yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, it's 2008. Like, I knew how to fucking pump gas when I was, I don't know, fucking 8. It's not hard. And it was in California. You still had full-service gas stations back then. So I remember, like, my grandparents would pull up to that part. Or no, they'd pull up to, like, self-service, and, like, there's full service. I'm like, what's over there, Papa? And he's like, oh, that's where they pump your gas for you. And I was like, but why would they do that? Like, when I think this is fun. Because, again, I'm 8. I don't know any better. But, yeah. I don't know. Fucking Oregon's about ready to lose their goddamn minds because they have to pump their own gas. That's all I know. Like, of all things to get upset about. All right. So, Spencer's trying to call.
Did you see its neighbor?
Do what?
The neighbor's Washington, Seattle, with its weird tax they got on their drinks now?
No.
Like, there's a picture floating around. I guess they put this sugary tax like Philadelphia did. And it's like Gatorade, right? It's like $15 for this like variety pack of Gatorade, right? It's almost $12 in taxes, so it like doubles the price of the drink pretty much. It's insane.
That's ridiculous. Spencer, try calling in again. I'm sorry I missed your call. I was not paying attention over there.
Oh, shame.
Right. Oh God, shame. Belle, shame. But no, but apparently Spencer is in Oregon. So.
Oh.
Justin says, Spencer, you should be pumping your gas, not commenting. Oh my God. All right,
pumping gas is for the peasants.
Right, exactly.
I finally made it through.
Oh, hello. Who is this?
This is Spencer.
Hello, Spencer.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Outstanding. I'm just trying to pump my gas here. I'm 3, 2, 1. Shit, I can't figure it out. No. So seriously, this only affects like a tenth of the population of Oregon.
Really?
All of these idiots that are freaking out all live in the Portland metro area. And it doesn't affect them. It doesn't. It only affects them when they try and leave the comfort and their safe space of the Portland metro area. That's all.
Go on.
They don't do that because then they're just going to implode. So, oh, by the way, it is Oregonians.
Oregonians?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oregonians. Yes. Oregonian. I think I prefer Oregonians, honestly.
Well, I don't live in Oregon.
Are you sure?
Or Oregon. I don't.
Right?
We're not oregano.
There's that extra E in there.
Yeah. No. So yeah, it's just ridiculous because all these people are just morons. I am surrounded by idiots.
Me too.
Spencer's triggered.
I would rather pump I used to have a diesel truck. Now, see, there's certain stipulations here before this even passed. So if you owned an exotic car, you could pump your own gas. If you owned a motorcycle, you could pump your own gas. If you owned a diesel vehicle, you could pump your own diesel. Not the eco green gas.
No, don't tell them that. Let them ruin their engines.
Yes, please, because you know what? I can't wait because in a couple of days, 50% of these vehicles will be off the road and the traffic problem will be solved.
Right? It's like Darwinism.
We have the 11th worst traffic in the nation just because they don't know how to design roads and drive in slightly wet roads. They will freak out in slightly wet roads. Oh my God! If it snows here, or if there's ice on the road, all hell breaks loose.
Holy shit! That sounds like Virginia, man.
Literally not this winter, but last winter, we had a snowstorm. The schools thought it would be okay. Well, the middle school did. The middle schools thought it would be okay to go ahead and bus the kids home. The elementaries and the high schools let out. The middle school buses came. By the time the kids got on, it started to snow. By the time the buses got out of the parking lot, we had kids on the bus from 3 until 10:30 p.m. stuck in the traffic and ice.
Yep. That seems legit, man.
That's
and we literally
ridiculous.
Got 2 inches of snow.
See, I'm from Kentucky and like northern Kentucky, and I mean snow's normal for us. But one year, I remember we had so much snow in January, and then they were like, "Well, on this day we're having an hour delay," and we went to the bus stop, stood up there for 2 hours, waited, no bus, and we were like, all of us kids were like, "Oh, fuck it, we're going home." Go home, they're like, "Oh, we're going to do another hour delay." Went up there for another hour. And it's like the frigid temperatures that you guys have now. And we waited, and then they finally canceled school. They had school buses stuck everywhere. They had kids at schools that were supposed to even go to that school. It was a mess. So I can only imagine what it's like there.
Yeah. Well, I think they have 3 working snowplows for our area, and 2 are, just pickup trucks with guys that live outside of the city in Blades.
Wait. You live in Oregon. That's north, like West Coast, right? So it snows there, don't it?
Yes, it does.
Very rarely. Very rarely does it actually snow here. It's like the Seattle and Oregon. It actually snows very rare. We'll get maybe 1 snowstorm a year, and it's an inch or 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, East Central and Eastern Oregon will get snow. It's,
oh yeah,
west along the coast.
West of the mountains, because we get so much precipitation here.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, it's good calling in. I'll watch the rest of the show. I got more stuff to do tonight.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah,
bye. All right. So that's enough about, Oregon, because apparently they are
idiots.
We don't know how to pump gas. They're gonna be like that one scene out of Zoolander, the gasoline fight. True story. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Okay, so I really want to talk about this because it's been long enough. Star Wars.
Spoiler alerts if you idiots ain't seen it yet.
Right? It's been 3 weeks. If you were going to see it in theaters, you would have done it by now. Motherfucking Star Wars. Okay, Pookie, I want your take on it first, and then I'll go.
All right. I was hesitant to watch it because of, I look at Rotten Tomatoes like an idiot, and it was rated worse than The Phantom Menace by the viewers. And I was like, what the heck? And when I watched it, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I liked it. I don't care what anyone says.
Right. It was rated worse than Attack of the Clones as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
PM me when you're done. Nope. No, I'm not going to PM you while I'm in the middle of my broadcast. So, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it. Justin's the new Felicia, everybody. Like, instead of saying, like, bye, Felicia, we're going to say bye, Justin.
Bye, Justin.
Cause I cried when Spock died in Star Wars. So, okay. One, I think that Emperor Snoke went out like a bitch. And, I mean, but at the same time, you know, like, it was a good play by Kylo. So, good for him.
But did he go out? That's the question.
He had a lightsaber drawn in like, through
Okay,
him.
okay. I'll get back to this once you're done with this, with your part.
He was literally cut in half by a lightsaber. There is no coming back from that.
I mean, technically, Luke Skywalker had a lightsaber stuck right through his chest, and it didn't do anything to him.
When did that
But,
happen?
During that big battle right at the end.
Dude, did you not see this? That was not actually
No,
Luke's. That was not.
I know
okay,
it wasn't
okay.
him, but you don't think like this freaking all-powerful, like Darth Lord or whatever it is, Dark Lord of the freaking Force could make himself look like he died?
Yeah, no, but he was actually there because that was Snoke's dreadnought. Like
or
that
was it?
Yes, no, it was, and like that is widely
I'm just
widely known that was his ship, right? And
I'm just playing with you.
no, okay, so there's that. I think it was almost like too easy how he went out for being an all-powerful controller of the dark side, right? Like, that's who he is. He kind of went out like a bitch, and way too easy. Fucking Rose, that fucking Asian chick, I hate her existence. Her mere presence in the film annoys me greatly. Like, everything about that character and what that character stands for and all the fucking shit that she did in the entire movie, I can't stand. I can't fucking stand it. I cannot stand that hooker named Rose. I can't do it. I wanted to, like, reach through and punch the shit out of her. Because, like, one, it was her whole spiel of, like, oh, you're trying, like, she tried to, like, keep Finn from going to do what he wanted to go do to, like, help Rey, and she stopped him because she's a cunt. I really, like, I have no other reason except that is because she's trying to be a goody two-shoes and, like, whatever. So there's that. Two, her whole, let's save these dog horse creatures and not the enslaved children.
Oh, I agree with you on that. Didn't even think about that. And she was talking the whole time like, I was a slave. I grew up with this.
Right?
Blah, blah, blah.
Right? This is what I grew up like. Why the fuck did you not free the kids then? Like, sure, free them both. By all means, free them both. But to the fucking dog horses and not the kids? Like, what kind of bitch are you? And then three. When she fucking knocked Finn out of the way from doing the heroic character arc of, I think, Finn's entire character, when she, I screamed out and I was like, you hooker! Like, I screamed it in the movie theater. It was like, why the fuck did you do that? Like, Finn was doing the sacrificial lamb thing and, like, you know, hey, I will sacrifice myself to save everybody else, right? And what does she fucking do? She fucking sideswipes him and knocks him out of the way. Which, And then, therefore, now everybody else is now back in danger. Way to go, Rose. You're a bitch. Like, just the entire, her existence. Any time she was on screen, I was, like, my entire body would tense up. And I was like, God, I just, like, I wanted to fucking hurt her. I'm highly upset she did not die. Very, very upset about that. Because, no, she's like injured. Hopefully she dies. But yeah. I think Rey should have struggled a bit more with her whole turning, like, going into the dark side and, like, being drawn to it. I think she should have struggled with that more.
That whole part where she tried to look into the future, but then she saw herself.
Yeah.
That kind of sets a big theory that's been going on for a while, like into like stone, kind of almost.
Oh, go on.
Where she was kind of like Anakin, where she was born through the Force and that didn't have parents really. She just kind of came to fruition, kind of.
Oh, just kind of appeared.
Yeah, like, well, who was my parents? And she saw herself.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, because I know a lot of fans, and we're doing a lot of like fan theories of like, oh, she like, Rey's the daughter of like Obi-Wan and some hooker or something. I don't know. But it just, right? Bye, Darby. Sorry, I almost called you Derby. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, and then those little fucking guinea pig chicken things.
The porgs.
They were adorable. I don't like the fact that they tried to make Chewbacca a vegetarian. Like, he was definitely trying to eat one, and then they guilt-tripped him. So that was not cool.
Yeah.
However, anytime they did their little, like, thing, I was like, oh my God, it's so cute.
I fucking hated the porgs. That was the least favorite part of the movie for me. It was an attempt at Jar Jar Binks all over again, is what I think it was.
That was like what someone said in the comments. Rose is Jar Jar Binks, except not a Sith.
Not annoying with a Jamaican accent.
No, like, dude, Jar Jar's in the dark side, right?
I saw that. I actually read that somewhere.
Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
He was like a Sith apprentice or something like that.
That's why his eyes are red. Look it up. It's true. But no, just that whole movie, like, and then, okay, so then Luke's final battle with Kylo. One, I do think it was interesting that Luke is the reason that Kylo is even on the Sith side. Way to go, Luke. Way to go. So there's that. But two, I think that final battle, like, I kind of had I had a feeling that was not really Luke, because, like, let's face it, Luke on the island looked like an alcoholic. Stringy, straggly hair and beard, and then Luke at the final battle scene was not like that. So it's like, wait a second, something's not right here. The way he just kind of vanished into the Force, that was weird.
That was not weird.
It was for me, because I'm like, why did he just vanish? Like, did he not have enough energy to keep
Obi-Wan
living?
did the same thing. He said to Vader, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
But neither of them have come back.
Obi-Wan came back as Yoda came back in this movie.
I mean,
he used the Force blatantly and struck that lightning bolt down on the temple.
I've got a question about that. How does Ghost Yoda control the elements?
Because he is one with the Force. When you become one with the Force, you become the Force. So you can appear and go anywhere you want to, pretty much. It's like becoming like an all-powerful being at that point.
I don't know.
You know, I don't know. I mean, you could take it like it's non-canon and non-story, but there's this guy called Darth Revan that existed before Disney took control of everything. And his body split. I mean, his Force spirit split into two. And one side became one with the Force and became all powerful. And the other side was just evil, like Snoke almost.
So...
I'm surprised the ice hasn't chimed in yet.
Right? Where's ice? No, so...
Like...
What's the right phrase? So then does that mean that Snoke is now considered more powerful? Or
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say earlier is like you can become one with the Force like the Jedi do. Like Yoda and Anakin became one with the Force, which I didn't really understand that part, but you know, Obi-Wan, you know,
right.
now Luke. So saying, like, when Snoke got struck down, how do we know that he really died at that point?
Right.
I mean, now he's like the most all-powerful thing in the world.
So, I mean, you know, yeah, no questions, like because, right?
You don't create a character to vaguely describe them and then kill them off, vaguely describing them.
You know, so there's that, and then there was that purple or pink-haired general who took over the fleet, right? Admiral, I don't really give a shit what her name is.
Yeah.
Why couldn't she just tell people the plan?
I don't know. That's a big plot.
I have questions.
I don't know. I've been scratching my head about that.
Like the whole side story of Finn and Rose going off to find this fucking person, that whole part could have been kept, like, cut out of the movie, and we didn't even have to see it if she had just told the rebels what her fucking plan was. Like, oh yeah, so this is the plan, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to draw them off enough to where we can then escape through our escape pods and go to that planet over there.
But the fact that they got captured also alert the First Order to the fact that they were like evacuating to the planet in the first place?
Yes, because their code breaker or hacker or whatever flipped sides and was like, oh yeah, by the way, they're escaping. So again, like, because she refused to inform her team what the plan was, and that, no, in fact, I do have everything under control, a bunch of fucking rebels died. And Captain Phasma died, which would have not happened.
It did Captain Phasma die, though.
She fell into a fire pit.
And Darth Maul fell down this, like, massive pit and lived through doing it.
Did he, though?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, no, but Darth Maul is a Sith Lord. Captain Phasma is not.
Captain Phasma was also wearing that badass body armor that all the stormtroopers didn't have.
Captain Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, Brienne of Tarth.
Went out like honestly, her death should have been better. Like, you know, she's supposed to be the elite stormtrooper, and yet you have her go out like that. Like, what the fuck?
Unless here's a theory. Unless she's like some sort of super clone.
How would that have
like
worked?
The clone trooper. Well, okay, I mean, just imagine you clone like about like 50 of these badass captains, and you give them this badass armor, and they're all the same. And so what if they die? You didn't see what happened to her when the Starkiller base got blown up. She was probably still on there, right? How did she escape?
Right. Just
Yeah, theories here.
so many questions. Oh my God, Cuffs!
Cuffs?
Yeah, Cuffs is on. Hi, honey. I miss you. I need to come up and see you soon. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping getting like late spring. Hopefully I can come up and see you. I don't know. We'll see. But I miss you. My Cuffs. But yes, no, all right. So that's Star Wars, and I just so many questions.
Yes.
And like,
there's so many plot holes open.
you know, it's just. But yeah, no, seriously, fucking. That one character just ruined the movie for me. Like anytime she's on screen, I was just dreading it. Yeah, exactly. So, we have a guest tonight. Oh.
Bong.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. So, we have a guest tonight. Her name is Stacy Pearsall. And Stacy is a U.S. Air Force vet who is now a professional photographer, author, educator, military consultant, and a speaker. So, she is going to be coming up here in the next 14 minutes, 16 minutes, somewhere in there. I don't know. So that'll be exciting. So anyone, if you guys know photography friends and you want to get them on here, like I would do that around the top of the hour. But yeah, so before we go on break, let's see. What do you want to talk about?
Can I put some advice out to the people listening on Facebook and Mixer and everything?
Oh my God, yes.
Give us a share and like, please.
You're such a dork. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, speaking of Star Wars, really quick. So allegedly, they're in talks of getting J.J. Abrams on to help write and direct the third one.
Well, that'd be good, I guess.
We'll
I mean, they should have had Lucas kind of hovering over him the whole time anyways, but whatever.
Right. Well, apparently this whole new trilogy what is majority women. Okay, that was another thing. It almost felt forced, like the diversity in the film. It almost felt forced, and like they were throwing it at me. It's like, God, like stop. Like, is that just me? Or was it like, okay, we get it. Like, there's not a lot of white people in this movie. Like, we get it. God, that makes me sound like an asshole. Oh.
Oh, no.
But no, it's just like, just the whole
I mean, all the alien life forms running around isn't diverse enough for you?
No. But yeah.
I don't know. I had to cut it at.
Fucking. So you remember the Pulse shooter?
Say again?
The Pulse nightclub shooter.
The guy in Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Apparently, his wife knew that he was going to do that.
Oh, well, is she going to jail?
She's going to trial in March.
Okay, we'll see how that works.
Right? She's pled not guilty. So the wife...
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right? So the wife of the Pulse nightclub gunman told the FBI that she wished she would have told the police what her husband was planning to do the night he killed 49 people, according to a written statement by Noor Salman made available to the public for the first time. FBI agents showed up to the apartment Salman and Mateen shared with their young son after the gunman was identified on June 12th. Remember, this happened in 2016. She says, I'm sorry for what happened. I wish I'd go back and tell his family and the police what he was going to do, Salman said in a 12-page written statement to the FBI. She faces charges of aiding a foreign terrorist organization and obstruction of justice. She was arrested 7 months after her husband killed 49 people and injured more than 50 others before police shot and killed him on June 12, 2016. The gunman's wife detailed Mateen's increasingly alarming behavior in the 2 years leading up to the deadly attack, including his dedication to ISIS and repeatedly watching beheading videos in front of their small child. Now, I'm no expert, but something in there would, like, you know, run a little red flag every so often, right? Like, if you are living with someone, you know, your husband, and you notice, you've dedicated yourself to ISIS. Cool. Like, that's not the normal response, right? You would think the response would be to, I don't know, go to the cops right then and there and be like, hey, so my husband, he's dedicated himself to ISIS. You may want to watch him. And then, you know, instead of being like, you know, turning a blind eye to the fact that he's watching beheading videos in front of your kid, like, I don't know, another red flag. That's just me. I'm no expert on this. But again, that seems like something you go and tell the police or, I don't know, somebody when it's happening and not after anything happens.
I'm wondering if her lawyer is going to argue Stockholm Syndrome.
How would it be Stockholm Syndrome?
I don't know. They find a way. I mean, lawyers are lawyers.
That's true.
You see, I was just like scratching my head. She knew he was about to do this.
Yeah.
She knew for like 100%.
Yeah. Because
she told the FBI she knew he was going to do this.
Yeah.
So how the hell is she going to get away with a not guilty plea on this shit?
I don't know.
She's not.
I don't know. But yeah, so, and especially because like the night before the attack, Mateen left carrying a bag full of ammunition and his weapon, his wife told the FBI agents. Quote, I knew when he left the house he was going to Orlando to attack the Pulse nightclub, Salman said in her June 12th statement. Salman also detailed to the FBI the trip to Orlando she took with her husband the week before the mass shooting, during which they drove around the Pulse nightclub for 20 minutes. During the car ride, Mateen said to his wife, how upset are people going to be when it gets attacked? On June 10th, Salman saw her husband on the Pulse nightclub's website, and when asked what he was looking at, Mateen replied, this is my target. Salman said at that point she knew, quote, the attack was close. Again, why would you not fucking report this?
Well, I mean, what the San Bernardino shooters, their neighbors knew something was going on, but they didn't want to report it because they were scared of being considered bigoted and racist. Well,
okay, one, that I can understand that. One, it's California, and if you appear to be anything except all-inclusive, you're just a bad person, allegedly. You know, so there is that, especially in California, there is that fear of being labeled as either an Islamophobic or, you know, a phobic of anything or a bigot. Like, that's a huge fear for Californians because reasons. And
that sounds similar to like Nazi Germany being scared to be labeled as a Jew. Oh my God.
So there's that. But yeah, so Salman said on June 12th when she could not reach her husband that her, quote, fears had come true and she did not want, and he did what he said he was going to do. She continued telling the FBI that she was in denial and that despite all the signs, she did not want to believe the father of her child could hurt other people. Later in the statement, Salman apologized for, quote, not being truthful to this in the start about what Omar was planning. Last month, her attorneys tried to convince a judge that the statement she made to investigators on June 12th were obtained unlawfully. Federal prosecutors said authorities were not required to read Salmon her Miranda rights because she was not officially in custody or detained, meaning she was free to go if she wanted. Federal prosecutors and Salmon's defense team are in federal court Friday in Orlando to continue a hearing to determine whether evidence or an expert witness will be allowed at trial. If convicted, she currently faces a life sentence.
Yeah.
So that's going.
Let's see how that will turn out.
Right? Oh my God. But it's break time.
These last few. Oh, it's that time. Yeah, never mind.
It is that time. All right, you guys, we are going to go on break really quick. And when we come back, we are going to have Stacy Pearsall, and she's going to tell us all about herself. So hang tight, and we shall be back. Yeah.
Noon. Gotta get it together, I gotta stay in tune. Seems time's against me, but I hate to rush. Gotta keep it between the lines until I hit the dust. I gotta buy some time. The key to freedom lies across the state line. It's a daily ritual, this game I play. In the life of a shadow man with a debt to pay. Hit the gravel with my hand on the radio. Here I am again. Bloodshot eyes. It's a daily ritual, this game I play. In the life of a shadow man with a debt to pay. Hit the gravel with my hand on the radio. Here I am again, driving on the roads we know. Just like this life that I lead, it might not take me anywhere. But I was born to travel along this lonely road to nowhere.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Fucking answer your phone, AK. God damn it, answer your phone.
I heard somebody talking about anal sex on the radio, so I figured I'd give my story. Give me a call back. Alright, bye.
Hello. I don't know what you're trying to do with all these kids. If you could call me back so I could read something for you. Bollocks. I just burnt my hair with my, rolled marijuana. Stupid strawberries and crumpets. I don't like it. Have a good day.
Hey, baby. You gave me your number in the fucking bar. This is fucking Lewis. How you doing? I don't know why you ran off in such a rush. Yeah. I know you're digging my vibe, baby. Just give me a call back. You know the number.
Go fuck yourself, Bobby.
Hey, just wanted to talk about your guys' radio show and how awesome it is and the other guys sucked. Anyway, yeah, make America great again.
I don't know how to use this. Oh, velvet ears.
Put the monkey down. Oh, God. Never mind. Hey, brother, we need to get your show nationwide on this Sirius radio or satellite or something. Kind of hard to watch it when it comes on this damn little cell phone. Let's see what we can do to get you nationwide. Love to see you. Love to hear you. Continue on.
You guys need more fucking lines if they're all busy.
What the fuck?
Get some more. Let me shit in your mouth.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of Friday Night Freedom. I'm Minx. We've got Pookie. We've got Mom. And we have Stacy Pearsall. Hello, Stacy.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for coming on. So we know a little bit about you in that you are like an award-winning photographer. You know, you like, I think you're an award-winning photographer. I mean, you're kind of prestigious. You know, I mean, you've got 2 photography books out and everything. So you are an Air Force veteran. You joined the Air Force when you were 17, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was it that drew you to photography? Like, what got you started in photography?
Well, I wanted to do something creative. I knew that, but I couldn't really afford art college, and I come from a family of military, so it just made sense that I would follow that same path. Mm-hmm. And 6 months after my sister enlisted, I did as well. And I told my uncle, he was the guy who dished out assignments for Air Force personnel and gave them their jobs. And he was the one who said, you have 3 options. You could be a graphics designer, a photographer, or a videographer. And being young and impatient, I said, I'll take whichever one opens up first. So that was photography. And it was not love at first sight, honestly. It took me a while to develop a passion for it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do know that, you know, you were in a competition, and you've actually won it twice, and you're, the only female photographer to do that, correct?
Yes, the military photographer of the year.
Yes, so can you explain what that's like? Like, you know, how you decide which photo you're actually going to submit for this, and then 2, can you give us a little background of the photos that won?
Sure. Well, the program has been going on since the early 60s, and all branches of the service that have photographers, they compete. And frankly, it didn't really occur to me to think of myself as someone extraordinary because of my gender. I was just a combat photographer like all the other combat photographers doing my job. And for the Military Photographer of the Year competition, it's a whole body of work. It's not just one singular picture. It's about the combat photography you produce and it's pitted against all the other peers of that time frame. So my first body of work is showed diversity and skill, and the last body of work, it just was a continuation of that.
Okay. Now, what is the Veterans Portrait Project?
Well, I began the Veterans Portrait Project as I was recovering from combat injuries, and it started out as a way for me to say thank you to veterans in a unique way. And then it just kind of continued from there. I kept going. For the last 10 years, I've been doing it.
So what exactly is it?
What is it? Essentially, it's my way of thanking veterans. I travel across the nation taking portraits and archiving stories, and I host pop-up exhibitions and permanent exhibitions and talk about veterans issues. Mm-hmm. We try to do it to raise awareness, and also it's a way for me to give back to the community I care for so much, and to make sure that the stories don't go untold.
Okay. And then also, why, like, you kind of already answered that. So your YouTube series, is that pretty much following you along the creative process of Veterans Portrait Project? Or, like, what is your YouTube series about, really?
Well, the Veterans Portrait Project is more about still photography. Mm-hmm. We've had some video documentary crews that have followed us to document video versions of that, which has been it's been interesting to add that kind of element, because I think in our journey, and we've photographed in 27 states across the country so far, that it's nice to see the contributions that veterans are making to their communities on so many different levels, from farmers to people who are starting up their own breweries, to being wearing suits and acting as lawyers and judges. And to me, that part of the project is really fun and interesting.
Oh, as far as like doing almost like a before and after, like, here's this guy and while he's serving, and here he is now. Look at him being an actual person.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
Pookie.
Hey. I'm more interested in your career. I've noted, I saw that you were very well traveled. Like, you've been to over 41 countries or something like that.
I traveled a lot as a combat photographer. I was on the road about 280 days a year, and my job was basically to photograph every branch of service, whether it was humanitarian relief operations or combat operations.
So out of all those countries, what was your most favorite country you've ever been to?
United States. No, I'm only kidding.
that's a good answer. Good answer. I set you up there. Sorry.
There's no place like home. No, I think uniquely Yemen was really quite interesting because not a lot of Americans get to go there. Germany's great because it's got good beer. Britain's wonderful because we speak the same language. But I think every country has its attributes. It's really hard to say to pick one favorite. But again, there's no place like home.
Right. So I have a quick question. What is this exhibition, The Face of Battle, Americans at War 9/11 to Now? What is that about?
Well, oh my gosh, it's been probably 3 years ago now. I was contacted by the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery, and they were going to curate a show about the faces of battle, 9/11 till today, and it was going to be a number of artists in various medium, and they wanted to include me to give the military perspective. So what was wonderful is we sat down and we curated a number of images that we felt represented military personnel.
Oh, okay. And then, how long is this exhibit going to be running?
Well, sadly, we're on this tail end of it now. I think it's coming down in the next few weeks.
Oh, okay. But in how many pieces do you have in it?
I believe there are 24 pieces
Of
in that
yours?
show. But I will have another show going up in the new Veterans Museum in Columbus, Ohio, later this year. And I have a show at the Pentagon right now.
Like at the Pentagon?
Yes.
That's amazing. Tell us about it?
Well, this in 2017 marked the 50th anniversary, the commemoration of the Vietnam War. And so I worked with the Pentagon to curate about 45 portraits from the Veterans Portrait Project of Vietnam veterans. And they are basically from floor to ceiling in the hallways of the Pentagon.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Well, they're amazing. They are definitely deserving recognition after all this time.
Yeah. Pooks.
So you're in the Smithsonian, right?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like they went slumming when they came to ask me. No, I'm because it's incredible to think that my work has had an impact on our society and our generation, and to be honored in such a way, to be representing the whole of the Department of Defense and all the military photographers who I served alongside and those who came before me. It's really quite an honor to be one of the first in these coveted halls.
So do you have or do you know of any traveling displays going around the country right now?
I believe that the Faces of Battle is going to have a traveling exhibition, but I don't know what that schedule is. And as I said, I'm going to have a couple of permanent exhibitions going up in 2018, but I don't know of any pop-up ones just yet.
Okay. Pookie. Right, Pookie. Are you there? So question from Mixer. What is your favorite piece that you've ever done?
That's a tough question because I definitely have an emotional tie to a lot of them, considering the nature of the photography that I've done.
Yeah.
But frankly, a lot of the pictures that I would consider some of my favorites are ones that the public will never see because they were never intended for public use. And I know that sounds really cryptic, but a lot of it has to do with, I took portraits of some of the soldiers downrange and they didn't make it home. And those portraits will never become public. Those portraits will always be for their loved ones and their loved ones only.
Yeah, which, that's completely understandable. So, I completely understand that. So Pookie apparently is getting signal loss. So
I hear he's out in the middle of nowhere.
He is. He really is. He is our...
You think he could use that beard for some reception, though? That thing has got some...
I'm back. Sorry about that.
There he is. So I know that you've received the Army Combat Action Badge and the Air Force the Air Force Combat Action Medal. So you were really on the front lines, literally documenting everything going on, right?
Yes.
Right? You mean back in the time when females weren't allowed on the front line? What?
Well, contrary to what most people think, women have been out on the front lines for generations. So
right.
I was not the first, and I won't be the last. So I think women have been out there proving their mettle, and I think it's always come down to whether they could do the job and stick with it. And for me, that's all I ever thought I was doing, was just doing my job. And I have a combat action badge, yes, but really the folks who were doing the tough jobs were the infantry, and I was just there covering their operations.
So now, as a combat photographer, like, is it like I don't how do I phrase this? When bullets started flying, was it more of an instinct to grab your camera or to grab your rifle?
Well, my camera, like I said, my job there was to document the infantry's operations. It wasn't always to be part of the action. Trust me, I can count on my two hands the number of times I had to put my camera down and put the gun up. And that was never my job. My job was to really, really push the boundaries of what my instincts were and to just cover down on the operations.
Right. So, like, when you were out there with, all the grunts and everything, were they receptive to you at all? Like, one being, like, especially if they were, like, Army or Marines, because let's face it, we're kind of assholes, especially towards, like, Air Force. Like, it happens. But so, were they receptive towards you, like, one being Air Force and then two being a woman, like, being mixed in with them?
I think it's tough for anybody. If you think about, say, an infantry unit, they are training before they deploy, and then while they deploy, they're continuing to understand each other or anticipate each other's movements and know each other's every move. To bring an outsider into that mix, right in the middle of that stuff, makes it really tough. So for me, whether I was a man in that position was going to be difficult, and then to be Air Force made it that much more difficult. And being a woman offered its own challenges. That I'd say that the men were very respectful of knowing that I had a job to do. If they had a problem with my gender, they never let me know to my face. They were always very professional. And the thing was, I never walked in there demanding respect. I always earned it, and I at least asked for the opportunity to show that I could perform under fire. And I believe that the work that I did proved that.
That's awesome.
So I'm under the understanding right now you're like doing this big portrait project. I think you said it earlier with I guess the Vietnam thing, but I'm just curious of more of like your style or whatever it is. What like photography style do you prefer to do?
Well, I mean, I love doing combat photojournalism. That was what I loved to do, but unfortunately I couldn't continue doing that after my combat trauma. So the Veterans Portrait Project has just been sort of an extension of that. And I like to call myself a portrait journalist. And it takes the individual's personalities to come forward and to have a really good chemistry. And I believe that my experiences as a combat photographer and my experiences in the military have made me better at doing what I do now.
That's awesome. So, what was I? I lost my place. What is your most memorable experience?
Well, there's a whole lot in there. I remember I was out with this one particular infantry unit, and we were hopping from roof to roof, and it was probably about like this 5-foot high wall that was between the two roofs, and the dudes were jumping over it. And we have full battle rattle, and it's heavy, and then I've got all my camera gear on top of that. So the guys were hefting themselves over the walls and just kind of throwing themselves over. And I remember I had my ruck on my back and on my camera gear, and I climbed over the wall, and I have really good momentum, and then I kind of get halfway over the wall, and I'm stuck there, and I feel like I'm in the middle of this cartoon, and the weight of my ruck starts taking me over to the other side, and I end up landing on my back like a turtle. So I usually tell people, combat for me was not glamorous or sexy. I definitely was not like some Spielberg badass. It was humor every day.
That's awesome.
Wow. I browsed your website a little bit earlier, just kind of skimmed over it, and I noticed that you have a dog. Can you tell me a little bit about your service dog, I guess?
Actually, I just got a service dog. We started our training basically the first week of December, and so he's relatively new in my life. And frankly, I kind of pushed back on having any sort of help, whether it was from people or canine, and I always just wanted to kind of tough it out. 2 years ago, I had a grand mal seizure because of my traumatic brain injury and realized that I had to make a change in my life. So part of that was to sit back and reassess what I was doing, asking, and then allowing myself to ask for help. And then I applied for a service dog. So I was on a wait list for 2 years, and America's Vet Dogs called me in October and said they had a dog ready for me, and his name was Charlie. It just so happens Charlie is a megastar. Like, he grew up on the Today Show, and everybody knew him and loved him, and so he came with this sort of, like, I like to call it the dog tourage, that hundreds of thousands of people who follow him. But at any rate, he is going to be traveling the nation with me doing the Veterans Portrait Project.
Oh,
that's awesome.
So yeah, I was actually just about to ask you about, America's Vet Dogs, but you already brought it up. So like, what kind of service does America's Vet Dogs provide? Like,
well,
with their dogs?
For me, right, every dog is tailored for the veteran and the veteran's needs. And so for me, I refuse to wear my hearing aids. Therefore, I'm like deaf as a doorknob. He provides hearing support. I also, because of traumatic brain injury, have seizures, so he provides seizure support. And then due to traumatic brain injury, I have balance issues and neuropathy. So he helps offer counterbalance, and he picks things up for me. He does nightmare interruption for those crazy nights when things creep up. And, being a dog and having a dog around is definitely calming. So that is just morally a wonderful support.
I love dogs. That's awesome. How they trained them to do that. Oh,
it's incredible.
So what was it like to actually get Charlie? Did you have to go onto the Today Show and like get him from them, or like?
Yes. It was really kind of hair raising because I not met Charlie. I met him sight unseen on the plaza at the Today Show, and people were harsh. They were like, well, you don't even know what this dog's going to do for you. I'm like, I don't even know the dog yet. So how could you expect me to know these answers? Like, people, calm down. So, after training, I finally got to realize all of the things that he was going to be doing for me. And it went really well the second time around. So much better.
Right? That's good. Right? Why do people have to be assholes?
I don't know. I get it. Like, I'm not the person they envisioned for Charlie. I think that what they were thinking was going to be, a double amputee or something like that. And I was not what they were expecting, and that's okay.
I think that's okay to a point, but I mean that. Obviously, that highlights a stigma when it comes to, disabled veterans, where, if you don't have a limb missing, then how can you be disabled, or how can you be qualified for a service dog? You have all
right.
4 limbs.
Right.
So I think that's actually a great thing because, obviously, taking from your experience, you've got a lot of things going on with your head. And like, not in a bad way, like you're not crazy.
or maybe not. I don't know.
We're all crazy. Don't worry about it.
But you do have all these other issues, whether it's like, like you said, TBI or loss of balance or, neuropathy, where you literally can't feel anything with your hands or like your feet even. And so therefore you trip over yourself. So obviously that definitely qualifies you to a service animal,
Right. Well, I think having a service dog too, not only is he going to benefit me in helping me through all of these things, but he's going to tell people around me there is something different about this individual. So just keep an eye out. And so when I'm traveling, say for the project, and it's just Charlie and me, and I drop down and have a seizure in the middle of the airport, people are going to know, okay, there's something wrong with this person. Perhaps we should get help. So while I didn't fit the bill for what people anticipated in terms of having an outward injury, I think Charlie and I are going to bring about awareness that not all injuries are worn on the outside.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I think, idea. Like, I don't know, that could be like a fun project for you and Charlie to do, is to really bring awareness that, you know, not all combat injuries are physical.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Pookie.
Yes. Damn. I mean, my last question got asked by the Mixer chat, so I'm kind of like stumped now, actually.
So how many people have you photographed for the Veterans Portrait Project?
My last count, and this is a real rough estimate, like I haven't done exact numbers, but I'm over 6,500.
Holy shit.
Yes.
That's 6500, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of pictures.
So how do you choose which veterans to photograph or like to be part of this project?
Well, honestly, it's really random. It comes down to setting up an event in a city and just doing sort of a first come first serve RSVP. What's great about the veteran community is that somebody always knows somebody who served, and they're like very special to that person. So I put something out on social media, and then within a couple of days I'm filled. And it's a wide variety of people from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, and the present.
Oh, very nice. And then is there a way for veterans to contact you, like if they want to be part of this project?
Sure. I mean, veteransportraitproject.com is a great place to reach out to me. It's got all my social media tags on there too. And I'm happy to correspond with any of y'all. And veteransportraitproject.com is also where you're going to find my schedule for 2018.
Oh, like as far as like where you're going to be or like when your shows
Yep.
are going to be? Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, Pookie.
If you're a
keep
veteran
going.
and you want to host the Veterans Portrait Project, you can go to the veteransportraitproject.com. There as well has a lot of information of what is required to host an event where I can come and take portraits. So perhaps you're a part of American Legion or VFW, or you're just a veteran student organization on your university campus. All of those places are really ideal for me to come and set up.
Okay. Pookie.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any more questions?
Yeah. Actually, it was like more along that personal question about your favorite countries. You know, like I asked earlier.
Yeah.
What do you think was the worst place you've been? I'm just curious.
Oh, that's a good one. Just like every country has its attributes, every country has its failings. Djibouti was damn hot. Iraq just, I think, sucked for a whole lot of other reasons. Yep. I'm gonna probably say Iraq is pretty high on my not so hot list. Yeah.
I agree with you on that. So, like, okay, out of the countries that you've been to, like Africa, how much time did you spend in Africa?
Well, I mean, I was based out of Camp Lemonnier in Djibouti, and I would go in and out of, say, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Kenya, Uganda, the Seychelles. Yeah, so I mean, I was there over the course of 6 months, and in and out of those countries, and I would be in the countries for about anywhere from 1 day to the extent of a week or 2 weeks each time.
That's cool. That's like the one place in the world I always wanted to go see.
No, Africa it's really extraordinary because you think about these modern day boundaries that we have on Africa, and it's more about the tribal boundaries that really make the difference. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, you've answered all my questions, and I know Pookie doesn't have any more. Is there anything that you would like to say now to our audience as far as like when it comes to photography or, you know, just going to see your art and everything?
Well, I think the Veterans Portrait Project has something for everyone, because we all have a tie to somebody in the military, and we don't want their stories to go untold. And that's really, really important for me, because I think the wars aren't won off of you know, the wars themselves. They're won off the backs of the people who fight them. And I think that these extraordinary stories are going to really have a bearing on the history and how we look back at the wars and those who served in them. So for me, it's a part of archiving history, but moreover, it's about thanking these individuals for these extraordinary things that they did in the course of their life. And it's more important to remember that only 1% of those individuals raised their right hand and said, I'm going to put my life on the line. And to me, that is definitely the most honorable.
Well, Stacy, thank you so much for coming on with us and talking to us, like, one, just about your career in the Air Force, and then also about Veterans Portrait Project. I know I really enjoyed it. So
thanks for having me, y'all.
Oh, of course. So we're going to take a quick break, everyone, and when we come back, we will have the conclusion of Friday Night Freedom. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Sun.
voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Off guard. Hello, everybody. Holy shit, we're back. Fuck.
Wow.
Whoops. Like it just popped up out of nowhere. Hello. All right, so we are back for the third and final hour and 20 minutes of the show. 19. Sorry. And then Mom was telling us a story, and it sounded like a good one. And I was like, stop talking. We got to get it on air so that way we can talk.
So the BBC had reported that a Japanese TV show featuring blackface actor sparks anger. And this TV show is like it's representing like Beverly Hills Cop. Well, over in Japan, and I can talk about this because my husband and his family are from Japan. Like, he's not directly. And so they don't have very many black actors over there that speak Japanese. Unlike here in America, we have very many talented black actors and actresses where it's Hollywood can pick and choose.
Yeah.
Over there, they don't. So what they do over in Japan is they do the blackface. Now, go back to like the 1920s and such. In America, like when white people did like the blackface, it was offensive because to them it was like it was degrading black people that they couldn't be actors and actresses and such. Mm-hmm. Well, over in Japan, they do it because they don't have the numbers or the people, the black people who can speak Japanese to be able to perform such jobs. Mm-hmm. So everybody's in an uproar saying that this is racism. And clearly, I mean, it's not. It is one thing, like, if, somebody, like, I don't know, did it and went on TV, like, now, today, and maybe I could see it be a racism, but over there it's not. So there's, like, this big uproar where people are upset about it. I think it's hilarious because the people that are upset about it, they don't know about the Japanese culture. Like, they don't fucking care. Like, they just, because they don't have, like, white people or black people, it's predominantly Japanese people that are doing these things. Like, they can't call up, what's his name, Eddie Murphy, be like, hey, can he act in this movie? Oh, by the way, you have to speak Japanese.
Right. Oh, by the way, you have to be fluent in Japanese.
Correct. So,
Have
like,
fun.
they can't do that.
See. That's my big argument right there is like the Japanese really don't understand the term racism because that's whatever to them, like.
Well, yes and no, I guess.
I mean, they could be called the most racist culture on the planet, but I mean, they don't
they
realize.
They don't get it. Yeah, they don't know what it is. Because it's funny when I'm shopping with my mother-in-law, especially when we go to the commissary, and the majority of the commissaries, your baggers, are of Asian descent. And, like, they'll speak to her in, like, Korean or whatever, and she's like, no, I'm no Korean. Like,
it's almost as bad as calling a Mexican a Puerto Rican.
Right.
Yes, it is. And then
there's a
she'd be like,
hierarchy
I can't believe
of
you
the
tipped them and da-da-da. I'm like, okay. Like, but anyways, to them, that is like, I guess the extent, I won't say it's racism, is more prejudicial, but it's hilarious. Pretty hilarious to see her get upset when they speak to her in Korean, and she's like, no.
That's awesome. Friggin' right, and then your kids look like they're Mexican. Except the boy has blue eyes, so I don't know how that works.
I guess my genes must have been stronger on that one. But what's funny is when the kids were little, we would go to the commissary, and there's they see the Asian women. To them, they, like, when they're 3, 4, 5, 6 years old,
Grandma!
They don't know the difference between Japanese, Okinawan, Korean, Filipino. There's like, oh, grandma. And what was funny is, like, they loved it. They would, like, these ladies bought into it and would give them candy and stuff.
Oh my God, right? If they only knew. Apparently, Kaz and Justin in the Facebook chat are having an a contest on how offended they can offend and be offended by.
I'm offended by your non-offensiveness to my offensiveness.
Right.
How's that?
Right. I'm offended that you're not offended by how offended you have now made me.
Right. And
I'm
actually,
not offended.
I called, like, my mother-in-law will correct me. She will say she is not Japanese. She is Okinawan.
Oh.
Like, I'm just like, whatever, you know,
Isn't that
you're
a
speaking
city-
the same.
Isn't that a city in Japan?
It's a little island from
Island,
Japan.
and you don't call an Okinawan a Japanese.
Yes.
You
There's
don't
like,
do
what,
that.
20-something miles, give or take, between the two islands?
But technically, it's part of the country of Japan. Yes?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's almost like being like, I'm not Hawaiian, I'm a Oahuan.
Yes, pretty much.
No.
Even though Hawaiian, you're part of America.
I'm not a Virginian. I'm a Texan. Kind of. I mean, people in America get mad about that shit too, though. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, nobody wants to be from the hillbilly state where it's legal to fuck your brother.
I'm not fucking my brother ever, and I don't even have a brother, so whatever.
Nobody wants to be from that state. Like, even people from that, like, what is it? What I think Arkansas or Kansas? No, it's Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah, it's Arkansas because it's pronounced Kansas and not Kansas.
Right.
And you just put an AR in front of it, and what is it? Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. You can't convince me otherwise. But no, Arkansas, I think it's legal to fuck or to marry even your first cousin.
Yeah, it's
There's
first
a bunch
in
of
Kentucky.
states like that.
Yes, in Kentucky you can marry your second cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Kentucky, and no.
See, but you don't want to claim it. Where you're like, no, I'm not really.
I mean, like, the part of Kentucky I'm from, like the northern part, like I just tell people Cincinnati, Ohio, because it's like driving from, I don't know, Killeen to Nolanville, and you're in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Makes
most of my
perfect sense.
family is from Cincinnati, Ohio, and then when I was dating my husband, and I was, living with my grandmother because my grandfather passed away, she was lonely, and I wanted in-state tuition in Ohio. I moved in with her, so I started working. And of course, I'm dating, and I know the area that my grandmother lives in. That's like where my family is predominantly from.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that I had cousins I have never met, never knew of, never thought of. And when I met my husband, I was like, so, where is your mother from? And he's like, oh, she's from Okinawa, Japan. I'm like, okay, not related, check.
Right.
And then I was like, where's your dad from? He's like, oh, like northeastern-ish Ohio. And I'm like, check, not related. Because I was so worried I was going to fuck my cousin. Like everybody I dated, like I had this questionnaire for where they were from to make sure they were not like my first, second, third, fourth, fifth cousin twice removed.
No, okay, so I can honestly say though, I've kind of, I wouldn't say I've done something like that, but so my maiden name is very, very common, right? I'll blow part of my purse sec, I guess, if you will. My maiden name is Miller. I never did anything with anyone whose name was Miller because I'm like, you could be a distant cousin. I don't know. I don't want to risk it. Like, I don't care if we're 10 cousins, like 5 times removed. It's too close. Like, I'm going to feel like we're in, like, backwoods Mississippi or Alabama all up in here. But, yeah, no, like, it didn't even matter. Like, I was stationed with an Asian Miller, and I would just call him cuz. Like, any Miller, if you were a Miller, you were automatically my cousin. And that's how I would refer to you as. I was like, oh, hey, what's up, cuz? Because, same name.
Think about my last name, and when I meet another one of my last name, it's like, oh, hey, what's up?
Right.
Hey, kinfolk.
Right? Hello. We're related. But no, it gets kind of tricky down here in the South because, so like during the Civil War, I had a pair of my great-great-grandfather fought in the Civil War, right? For the Union. Or is it great-great-great? I don't know. One of those. Fought for the Union side. But his brother fought on the Confederacy. And, like, split off from the family. So we're not really sure what happened or, like, where he ended up or how many more extended cousins I've got.
Sounds like a Hatfields McCoy situation going on right
I was
there.
thinking the same thing.
Well, no, okay, so my family apparently loves to, I don't know, breed like bunnies. We're not even Catholic. My grandpa is one of 8, and his mom was one of like 12. Is ridiculous. But I guess, you know, for where they were located and the time, you know, it makes sense because you got to pop out all these kids so they can work on the farm, right?
In case 1 or 2 dies.
You know, I mean, you know, there's that. But, yeah, no.
Yeah,
So, no, my grandpa, he was actually pretty much raised by his older sister because his mom, like, you know, went back to the factory. So, yeah, so he was pretty much raised by, like, the 12-year-old was running the house.
Nowadays, if the 12-year-old is running the house, they call fucking CPS.
Right? Yeah, like, oh, but 12-year-olds left home alone watching the smaller kids.
Oh, there we go with the government.
The government.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Government.
Right? Yes, Spencer, there are Asian Millers. They're Korean. Most of the time, anyways.
I'll blow my husband's Persec if I say there's Asians, whatever. But
yeah, don't do that. Don't blow his Persec. He can blow his own.
I was always curious. Like every Korean I met was like either Kim or Lee. What's up with that?
It's probably easier to say than their actual name because my mother-in-law, like her actual name is something, and then she just goes by Lee because it's just we all can say Lee,
and not whatever the jumble mess of letters is. Like I need, it's like I need someone with like a common name so that way I don't butcher it. Because they'd end up having to like, you know, phonetically sound it out for me and I'd still be like, I don't know what, I don't know.
See, and like for my husband, you know, he has an actual Japanese first name, but he doesn't go by that because nobody can say it.
What's his first name, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll type it to you later.
Yeah,
I'm very good at pronouncing Japanese names.
We just talked
for some weird reason.
Well, I mean, your Skype icon is, you know, fucking anime titties.
Right?
Shush.
We'll just say, like, he goes by the nickname of Say Taco.
Say Taco.
But you gotta say it with more of a, I don't know how to explain it.
So he's Mexican.
Say taco.
No, because it's how it's kind of pretty, like, in my world, in my, you know, Kentucky, like, accent, and calling for him and his actual name, so I'm not blowing his Persec, it would come out, like, to my daughter, it sounded like Say Taco. For the longest time, instead of calling him Dad or whatever, she was like, Say Taco, Say Taco.
It's just like taco in Japanese, I think means octopus.
I couldn't tell you. Like, he never learned it. Like, he never learned Japanese. His mother, because where they ended up was in, like, a predominantly white town. Like, she, like, did not teach them any Japanese, none of that, because she was afraid they would get discriminated against for that. I know, it's kind of crazy.
Speaking of crazy. So an Army veteran froze to death after being released from a VA hospital. Congratulations, the VA strikes again. An Atlanta family says it was negligence that led to the death of their father, who's an Army veteran. Vance Perry was found dead on New Year's Eve in a freezing cold parking garage in Madison, Wisconsin. Erica Perry hasn't seen her father in 5 years. Now, she and her siblings are trying to figure out how to see him one last time for his funeral. Last month, Vance Perry moved from Atlanta to Madison, Wisconsin. That's where the Army veteran died Sunday morning. He was found in the parking garage in below freezing temperatures, wearing only a light jacket. The medical examiner says he likely died of hypothermia. He was 57. He was the most giving person I ever met, Erica, whose daughter said. It's just sad he died a lonely death. Erica said her father was picked up by a Veterans Affairs van for a routine appointment at the Madison Veterans Hospital for paranoid schizophrenia. He was then admitted for mental instability. Friday morning, they released him. They did not make sure he got in a car, she said. He just simply walked away. So that's actually not uncommon. Not the whole freezing to death part, but how hospitals don't make sure you get home. It's not, it's not uncommon at all. My hospital does that. We have shuttles that will go and pick people up and bring them to the hospital. Once you get discharged and once you are on your way out, we don't really, it's almost like we don't care what happens to you. Because you're no longer our patient at that point in time, right? You are released, you are free to go, so go. That's kind of the mindset. Case in point, I'm driving into work one day. It's 4, what was it? It was 5 in the morning, and I'm about to pull into my hospital's parking lot, and it's freezing outside, and there's some dude in shorts and a t-shirt, and it's the main road, the expressway that my hospital's on. There's no lights in front of it. And so, I almost hit this guy. And I was like, oh, shit, right? This is not how I need to be starting my day, is by hitting someone. And so I roll my window down. I'm like, are you okay? And I noticed he had, the hospital armbands on him. And he's like, are you the shuttle to take me home? And I'm like, I look at my card, and I drive a Mustang. And I'm like, no, I am not. And he was like, oh, okay. And then just kind of scooted on off. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It is ridiculous. So I think that is actually something that needs to be addressed and started, is a get home method, especially for people who don't have a way to get home. Whether they arrive by EMS and they're not anywhere near family, or they don't have any friends in the area, how are these patients, once they get released, how are they supposed to get home? Why aren't we making sure that our patients get home after we're done treating them? Or that we make sure they at least get into the hands of someone who they know,
No, I feel you on that.
Well, I know when I've been released from the hospital, I always had a nurse stand there until my husband came and got me. But I'm pretty sure the VA is very understaffed, and they can't always do that. I always thought the VA did have shuttles
to pick you
for
up.
Stuff like this.
To pick you up.
Depends on how far you're talking about.
But not to take you home.
And see, that probably should be changed.
Right, you would think so, because, you know, hey, if they needed a ride to come here, maybe...
How are they going to get home?
Maybe.
Well, they needed
might need
a
a ride home.
nonprofit organization to get to the hospital in the first place, like DAV. There's an issue already. So, I mean, maybe they should fix the whole system.
Well, I mean, you know, the entire VA needs to be fixed, so maybe they can throw this into it, too.
Too many issues.
Right? Ugh. Fucking ridiculous. So that's a sad story. Ooh, want to know what's not a sad story?
What?
I'm doing another one of those, like, boudoir, like, photo shoot thingies tomorrow.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. That's a total sad story. Nobody wants to see that.
Bang.
Right, so that's tomorrow, so that'll be fun. I wonder if Girls Gone Grunt will hit me up again.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I should hit them up. Who's your photographer? I should do a boudoir photo shoot.
It's a girl here in Texas. She does it all herself, but she's got like this whole fucking house really that's set up for like studio and I guess dressing room even, because she's got a wall of nothing but like bras of like different sizes that you can like, you know, hey, this one looks cute or this one looks pretty or, you know, whatever. I'll wear this one. And then she's like, oh, here, boom, matching panties. And you're like, I can take on the world now. It's true. Mm-hmm. Friggin'.
I think women shouldn't wear bras.
Why?
I don't know. There's like studies saying they shouldn't do it. And I don't know. I mean, whatever.
You just like knowing when they're cold, right?
Is this the only reason why y'all wear bras? I mean, this is like news to me.
Well, no, okay. So under boob sweat is like a thing. For those of you who have larger, or, you know, for those of us who have larger than, I don't know, a B cup, or, you know, and like a small B at that, like those of us who, you know, have more tissue there, under boob sweat is a thing and it's real. So bras kind of help with that. Like they collect it and you're like, oh, this is nice. Like, you know, like there's back sweat, there's under boob sweat. It's a true thing. So they help with that as far as like not letting it get onto your shirt. They do offer support because, you know, they're just fucking sagging around, and, you know, after a while it's just, even in a bra, you like, after some time you like hold them up and you're like, oh god. Right? And then on top of that, like if we have to do any sort of movement past walking, these bitches start flying everywhere, and you're gonna end up like, especially for the women who are like pretty endowed, right, with their titties, they're going to end up giving themselves black eyes. And then people are going to ask questions. And then nobody wants to be like, oh, yeah, I was running and my titty smacked me in my face.
That almost sounded like the same thing that, like, balls do, except for smacking yourself in the eye.
Right? But they're
I would love to see a dude smack himself in the eye with his ball sack, but whatever.
Right? Mom, welcome back to the conversation. We're talking about titties.
Oh, yes. I'm a very well-developed member of that society.
And he was asking, or no, Pookie doesn't understand why women wear bras. So I was telling him that, one, under boob sweat is a thing.
It's gross.
Yeah, it is gross. Especially, like, if you're not wearing one and then it starts rolling.
So
like,
do the bras, like, prevent the under boob sweat, or what?
Absorb it.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps the skin from touching.
Okay.
I guess it's kind of like, you know, your balls being sweaty and sticking to your leg.
Yeah, but we don't have a brawl for our balls, man. Like,
there's your $1 million idea.
Right.
Oh.
Dude, why do you mute yourself when you start laughing? Your laugh's like the best.
Isn't it?
It did. Because people tell me I sound like a dumbass hillbilly when I laugh.
But like for when I run, I have to like if I don't have like because I bought bras from Victoria's Secret that I run in.
Oh, they're new
If I
sports
do
bras?
not wear those, I have to wear 2 or 3 like Walmart sports bras to keep my boobs from bouncing.
Right? And that
So
hurts.
much.
It's just this added
my
weight
God.
that like flops up and down in front of you. Like, God, ow. And like mine aren't even like that big, right? Like I'm average-ish. Like,
I'm a 36 triple D.
yeah.
And
Nowhere near that.
like I went running with just a plain old one Walmart sports bra. I came home. I had bruises around like where my breast would begin, I guess you could say. Oh, I couldn't
just
like it was
'cause,
painful.
No, ow. Like, yeah, I'm having like sympathy titty pain right now.
Like I
Is
went
it like
saw-
kind of like the same way when a dude gets kicked in the balls and all the other dudes are like, ugh, and like hurts? I don't know, like, are boobs like balls, kind
you
of?
see
No.
videos? Well, I do. Like, okay, so I see these adult instructional videos, right? Where especially if like she's just being like bounced around and like titties flying everywhere, like, and then she's not holding on to them. I instinctively
Yeah, it does
hold on
hurt.
to mine. I'm like, oh, ow. You know, I'm like, God, like, hold them down or something. Like, put some tape on those bitches. Like, hold them in place. Oh, it looks painful.
Well, I've seen like my primary care doctor a few weeks ago because I've been having like chest pains. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. It's not my heart. It's not pulmonary. So they're like, well, we could recommend you to a plastic surgeon or a general surgeon to have your breast reduced. I'm like, can I just try and lose weight first? I'm like, I don't want to jump into surgery right away.
Friggin' breast reductions are fun. I mean, they're bloody, but they're fun.
Oh.
I would go with a plastic surgeon.
You're
though.
like wondering why any woman would want to reduct their breasts, but then I guess I gotta understand why. Now that you explained the
back
like,
pain.
huh?
Back
Yeah, well,
pain
you said
is a
back pain. I guess my balls give me back pain too, but whatever.
Oh my God, no! I'm telling you, nobody's scrotum weighs 10 pounds, and if it does, that's a medical emergency, and you need to go to the doctor. 2.
I didn't go to the doctor then.
Oh my God, you're so full of shit. 2, like, I've done breast reductions where we've taken off pounds of breast tissue. That's literally all it's doing is just hanging out. That's all it's doing. Fucking fuck that. But, and then, you know, like, because once they get a point to where they're, like, super big, like, if you lay down on your back, your titties are in your armpits. And, like, are on
Pretty
each side of
much.
you. You know? But no, I'm talking about, like, the ones that get, like, super, like, where you're like, God damn, those are big-ass titties. And, like, they're real, right? They're not the fake ones. They're the real ones. And they're kind of, like, they're not nice-looking either. Like, they've gotten to the point where they're so big, they're no longer nice to look at. You're just, like roll them up, put them away, like, you know, so, like, when you lay down, they just kind of, like, flop on either side of you, and you're just like, that's attractive, right? And so then what we do is, like, you know, for a reduction, we take out all that extra tissue, and we put those suckers right on your chest, and good God, it looks like you got fake titties, but they're real. And, like, they are,
You know,
in
you're
your
kind of,
face
you know,
and, like,
selling me
grr.
on this.
Huh?
You're selling me on this
Dude.
now.
You know, and, you know, eventually, you know, and I guess the biggest concern women have about breast reduction is the scar, which, let's face it, by the time you're on your back with your bra off, nobody's going to give a shit about that scar. Nobody's gonna. And if he does, then obviously he is not worth fucking. Just putting that out there.
Like, honestly, the scar hasn't been my main concern. I guess my main concern is, like, they do the breast reduction, and what if they get big again? You know, that's been my main concern.
I mean, that is always a possibility.
And me being, you know my medical history. Like, I can't just keep having surgeries.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you're thinking about getting pregnant again, I would not.
Fuck no.
Okay, well then. So there's one concern. Two.
I'm not getting pregnant.
Nobody's
there you go,
asking about
Pookie.
your
You can
man
reduce your
titties,
breast.
Pookie.
Yes, I need a breast reduction. Here we go. Let's do this.
Oh no, we don't think I haven't done them on males.
Oh.
Oh no, I wasn't joking.
Gynecomastia. True story.
Yes.
Breast tissue on dudes. Dudes, fun medical fact, you have breast tissue. True
Yes,
story.
we do, and we can get breast cancer, and a lot of dudes don't think that. But I'm gonna stop there.
True story.
And because they don't think they get it, it goes undetected, and then bam, they're like in stage 4.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of like I tell dudes in their younger years to touch their testicles because, guess what? You get testicular cancer, you're gonna die.
True story. But yeah, fucking, what was I saying? No, I mean, if you're not planning on getting pregnant again, really the only reason why they would grow back, if you will, is if you were to gain, an obscene amount of weight. Now, when you do gain weight, where's, like, you know how normally, if you gain weight, there's normally an area that gains weight first. Where is that for you?
It's usually between the tits and the belly.
Okay.
My booty.
So,
mainly my tits is where I've gained it first.
Okay. So I mean, that means then that, when it comes to losing weight, that should it should be the first place where you notice that you're losing weight, right?
And I have in the past, yes.
So I mean, yeah, you can try, doing, just like normal weight loss on your own, but, if it gets to the point where you just can't take it anymore, I highly recommend surgery.
I mean, fuck it. TRICARE will pay for it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's medically necessary.
Yep.
Due to, XYZ. And under boob sweat is not one of them. True story. Right.
I think we educated everybody.
Right. You're welcome.
On boobs.
I would like to pop the question right now. What smells worse, ball sweat or boob sweat?
I would have to go with balls because you guys don't have a receptacle to hold them in place.
Yeah. Ball sweat.
Because, I mean, I always see my husband adjusting. He's like, oh, they're sticking.
Right? They're sticking to my leg. Make it stop. Ugh. I don't know. Put some baby powder down there. I don't know what to tell you.
Gold Bond? I don't know.
Gross. No, definitely scrotums smell the worst. But I don't know, because like when they get to me, like at work, right, then, most of the time, wear your titties right next to your armpits. And, what do we tell you before coming to surgery? Don't put on deodorant, because I don't know why. I honestly, I have no idea.
I always
wondered dioxide.
Why? No. Even that, it's there is no purpose for not wearing deodorant. There's not.
See, I've read somewhere it's because there could be metallic flakes in the deodorant, and that could be picked up on an X-ray. I mean, you work in an operating room. I've only went under in the operating room. I can't tell you if there was a fucking X-ray in there or not. Well, yes, a couple times when I had my back surgeries. But other than that, no.
I'm telling you, if there is, I have never seen it. 1, 2. We're normally not X-raying anything around your, your armpits.
Armpits.
So.
Titanium dioxide is what it is. That's the reason why they say that, because it reacts negatively with some weird chemical that they use with the. I don't know. This is my chemistry shit coming out, but whatever.
Keep going. No, out with it. Reacts with what? The prep that we use?
No, y'all have like the basic prep, but I mean, it's like some sort of weird. God, I can't even remember what the name of it is.
Because most surgeons have gotten away from doing an iodine-based prep. It is now an alcohol-based prep because.
Interesting.
Yeah. So in fact, like the only time betadine is still used is for urology, so scrubbing around the dick, any sort of vaginal case we have to use betadine, and then our plastic surgeon likes betadine. That's just his preference. He likes the betadine. Other than that, it's an alcohol-based there we go, prep that we clean you off with, and it's tinted orange, which is why after surgery your skin may have this orange tint to it. It's because we cleaned you. Surprise.
So you brought up the whole deodorant thing and patients not wearing it. I'm pretty sure, and you've talked about it, that you've got patients that come in that smelled like they haven't bathed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, or look like they haven't bathed. Mm-hmm. Where like you touch them and like dead skin just kind of poof. Like snow falls off of them. Oh, it's disgusting.
That's gross.
People are disgusting. Or
I mean, yeah, I know.
Or like their
just
mouths are like fucked up.
Okay.
That's one thing that that's on my like little checklist of like, do I date this person or not? If you have fucked up like a mouth, if your mouth is just fucked up, like if you have black pits in your teeth, no. Yeah, I'm just gonna nope, move you over to the no column. Like, you might be a nice person, okay, I'll be your friend, but I'm not putting my mouth or any other piece of my body anywhere near that. No.
See, I mean, I know you get that part of like people being gross, like, I mean, not dating, but like in the OR, like there was this one house we responded to, and it was a domestic, and we had to take this chick to the hospital for whatever reason. Yeah. She was kind of over dramatic, but I had fucking roaches crawling over my work boots. No. Like, it was that disgusting. Like fucking hoarders, TV show roaches, disgusting.
That's another thing that I watch just to make myself look better or like
feel better about your house.
No, and it's not to say that, if I span my fucking camera around, like, you're not gonna see anything because, I'm a pretty tidy person. Like, do I expect all clutter to be gone at all times? No. However, I keep everything clean, right? And I know where fucking everything is. So if there's ever a point in time where I'm like, maybe I'm holding on to too much, I watch hoarders and I'm like, no, I'm still good.
Right?
Right? I don't have a path anywhere in my house and where it's just like stacked up and I'm like, oh yeah, this is my path. Let me just squeeze through here and like, oh, gotta get over here. No, there's none of that in my house. That's disgusting. My mom was like on the verge of that. Fun story. My mom hates throwing shit away. She absolutely hates it. Like, it's almost like it physically pains her to throw anything away. Like, she's got my kindergarten school pictures, like the shit, like, how you order like a shit ton of pictures like for school photos and you hand out 10. She still has all the remainders. And it's like, God, it's time to put them away. Like,
yes,
it'll
you
be
only
fine.
Need one.
Right?
Keep 1, 2, maybe 3 of them. That's it.
Right, and then the rest, Yeah, burn them. I don't care.
Whoa. I lived with my ex-girlfriend for like almost 6 years, and she was the epitome of a hoarder. It drove me fucking insane.
That's no. Mm-mm.
No. But my roommate I'm living with right now, he witnessed one day I opened the back of her car just to get something of my own possession, I guess is what you would call it. And she freaked out. She's like, "You can't control me. Don't touch my shit." She started freaking the fuck out.
Shit.
Yes. Do not touch a hoarder's shit. Do not touch their shit because they will fucking kill you.
They lose their goddamn mind. Like, you touch my stuff. It's like, oh, the nastiest hoarders episode. I gagged.
Was it the chick with the pee bottles?
She saved everything.
Piss shit.
Yes.
She had the bucket, right?
Oh my god, it was disgusting. And then so there's that one, and then the other one was a woman who had type 1 diabetes who gave herself insulin shots. Guess what was laying around all around the house? Fucking dirty used needles. Oh, it's just
fucking light that house on fire. Fucking light that house on fire. I would.
Oh, both of those houses, I'm like, how are these people like living in this? Like, this is disgusting. Ugh.
Don't get rid of that piece of paper because that piece of paper might affect my life like 30 years down the road.
Right?
But
You don't
whatever.
know. Like,
now it's
I
a big issue. But
I am kind of a hoarder when it comes to like my text messages. Like, you know, I could not text somebody for years. And then like I'm going through it and I'm like, oh, why is my phone slow? It's like, oh wait, I've got thousands of messages on here. Like, maybe I should delete some. So I'll like go through and I'll be like, well, what if I need to come back to this conversation? And I've literally never done that. But like, what if? I've gotten a lot better though.
My thing is the photos on my phone. Like right now, there's 8,000 pictures on my phone.
Dude, okay, so my phone does this fun little thing where it saves every GIF and meme and picture that gets sent in Messenger. It automatically saves it to my phone. So every so often, I have to go through because, you know, our fucking team chat is nothing but memes and GIFs and pictures.
Oh, yes. I have to wipe my phone every, like, fucking, what is it, like 3 weeks because of that shit.
So often where I'm just like, I need to just delete all of these pictures. It's
like,
so
my phone doesn't save. Oh, I mean, I have an iPhone.
I've got an Android all the way, but my Android photos save to the photo cloud base that's unlimited. So when I wipe my phone, I still get to keep the pictures.
Right. Oh, it's so bad. I've actually had a little notification come up like, your photo storage is full. I'm like, excuse me? And then I looked and I had like 8,000 picture messages from our fucking team chat, and I'm like, good God. No.
The team chat is amazing.
It is. We're a good group of people. Oh yeah, everyone, we're hiring right now.
Yes.
Well, you know,
yes.
hiring in that it's a volunteer position and we don't get paid. But yeah,
you get paid in snacks and happiness.
Right? Yeah. and you know, I guess honor of being in our company, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no, we're looking for on-air talent, social media, administrative assistants. So if you guys really want, if you guys like us and if you think you want to be part of our team, freaking come on, apply. It'll be a good time.
I bet you won't.
It's a good time.
Right, it is.
I find reverse psychology works better in situations like this.
It works better, right? Oh, you guys can't handle this. Or something. What was I going to say? Oh, Pookie, you wanted to know what I did to my hair.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I'd love to know what you did to your hair because I want my hair curly like yours.
I stopped using shampoo.
Okay, well, tell me more. I mean, sorry. I mean, like, anyone who is judging my sexuality right now can suck my dick. So,
Right? No, I mean, Pookie, your hair is kind of frizzy and really out of control. So, it actually might benefit from this. So, basically, what you do is you get, like, baby shampoo and like you wash your hair with that, and that's the last time you'll ever use shampoo, right? After that, then you do a conditioner wash, and then you do conditioner, and then you do product, and like then there's some other shit that you got to do when it comes to like drying your hair, because you can't use an actual like terry cloth towel on your hair anymore. Like you have to like use either a microfiber towel or like, you know, an old t-shirt like that's 100% cotton, and use that to dry hair. And then there's this thing called plopping, which that's weird. Like you look like Aunt Jemima almost. In that, no, it's true. I've been taking pictures like after I do it because I'm just like, I look ridiculous right now. But like you put all your hair like on the top of your head, right? And then with this t-shirt, right, and your hair's wet when you do this, and it's all over the place, whatever. And then you like wrap this t-shirt around your head and like tie it in the front, and you're like, yeah, no, okay, this is a good look. Like, hold on, I've got pictures. I'll show you guys.
Okay.
I look ridiculous. Hold on, wait for it. Wait. All right, ready? Here you go. See? I don't know if you can see it right. No. Yeah, so you have this. I know, I'm super pale too. So you've got this like t-shirt wrapped on the top of your head, and yeah, and you'd sit like that for, you know, up to an hour, and then you take it down and you're like, oh, my hair looks amazing. It's like magic. I don't know. It's been a weird process so far, you know, not using shampoo to wash your hair, but it works. My hair fucking loves it. It's soft as fuck right now. So no complaints from me.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Justin's comment.
What's he saying?
New show. Weightlifting Wednesday with Jazzercise Jensen.
Oh my god. That's right, Justin, you've got your Jazzercise now. Is it as epic as I think it's going to be? Are you going? I cannot wait to see this footage.
He's supposed to submit it, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's been holding up his part of the deal. What was it that we were going to give him back? Was I supposed to go on a date with it? Was that the deal? I totally forget. Mom, was that the deal?
Like, I know, like, I vaguely remember. It was like something he had to do that on video. And he can't find someone to film him. How can you not? Like, if I was there, like, oh, you're going to be Jazzercising? Sweet, hand me your camera. I'll film that shit.
Like, honestly, where do you live, man? Because if you live close to me, I will come film you.
Right. Put out there in a forum of, you know, the public interwebs where you live, Justin.
Right? Or message our page.
I'm not the NSA. I am not the NSA.
But they might be watching. No, I don't know. It's been a weird journey. I'll get you guys more details though on it. Cause, Mom, I know you said that Minnie's hair needs it.
Yes, she needs it.
Is it like curly or like wavy?
Both.
Okay.
Mine's more like dreadlocky.
I know, darling. We really just... You can use it on your beard, too, by the way. Soften
My beard is getting dreadlocky, too. It's weird.
Yeah, we gotta fix you, Pookie, so that way we can grow your, friends with benefits number from 9 to, I don't know, sky's the limit, like 15.
Oh, I don't need that. I just need a few.
We gotta, make it soft and like pliable, because I'm telling you, like, if your beard or hair is soft, like, bitches are gonna be all up in there, like, oh my god, we love soft things.
Okay, y'all love soft things, but y'all not the kind of women I'm trying to get.
Who likes rubbing their hands in straw?
All right, first of all, who said my beard was like straw?
You said it's getting dreadlocky, so therefore I'm under the assumption that your hair, to include your beard, is dry and it feels like straw.
You just triggered me.
Oh, and I don't care. I'm sticking with it. Your beard is dry and scratchy, and it feels like straw.
No, my beard is nice and soft, and it's because of the goddamn Moroccan goddamn argan oil that I've been using, so suck a dick.
You're so mad.
So I have a question, Pookie. Like, when you have your girl, like, I won't say girlfriend, but a girl acquaintance, your lady friend over, does she like to strum her fingers through your beard?
Not all of them, but some of them, yes.
Not like all of them beards, or some of her fingers and all of her fingers?
No. Like, some of them are too rough with the shit, and I say, get the fuck off of it.
Okay, like they're trying to yank on your dick or something. They're yanking on your beard like that.
Oh God, this is. I guess that sounds similar, but no. I mean, I don't care about how hard you yank on my dick. But don't yank on the beard.
We love you.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't know these things. I will never have a beard.
Right? Oh my God. Oh. No, that just reminded me of something. So, my roommate Siren and I, we had like a friends date yesterday. We went and got pedicures. We went to the mall where we walked past Victoria's Secret, even though they were having a sale. We walked past it twice. We're like, no, don't make eye contact, because we'll spend all of our money there, right? And then we went and saw Jumanji, the new one. Well, may I just say, Jack Black was cast perfectly for that movie. It was amazing. But there's this one part, because, in the trailers you see that the stereotypical like hot girl was transformed into this Jack Black character, right? So overweight middle-aged man. Well, apparently there comes a point in the movie where she's like, I have to pee, right? And well, she's never had a dick before, so she's like, what do I do with this? So the other two male characters, so Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, are trying to like walk Jack Black through how to pee like with a penis. But he looks down and he's like, oh my God, Martha, come look at my penis.
That's hilarious.
I started dying.
Like the shiwi.
I was laughing so hard. Oh my God. I was... Martha, come look at my penis. So now Siren and I say, like, we yell at that to each other from across the house, because we live together now. So.
Hey, come look at my penis.
No, I don't want to, Pookie, because you've always had it. I mean,
No, not you. I was just like shooting out there.
God damn. Right? Mom, come look at my penis.
No.
That would be like my kids, like my son when he was like fucking like 3 or 4 years old. Like, look what it's doing. I'm pissing all over the toilet or something.
No, that's what Dwayne said. Dwayne Johnson, his character, he's like, you got to make sure to aim. Don't forget to aim.
Yo, despite what you think, it's not a shotgun. It is a sniper rifle, and if you don't know how to use it, this sprays all over the place.
Yes, it's when you have little boys, like, and when my son was kind of going through potty training, my husband was deployed, and I'm like, what the how, I can't fucking show him. I don't have a penis to show him how to pee in a pot. So, like, the entire time my husband was deployed, he sat on the toilet and peed in it.
Goddamn, just use Cheerios.
I tried that.
Cheerios.
It just didn't work.
Is that what your moms did for you?
No, I never pissed all over the toilet because I'd get my ass beat if I did.
Oh.
Needless to say, when my husband came home, he showed him, hey, this is how you aim.
Like, I don't know, I have questions.
Okay.
No, just, kind of more along the lines of, like, Pookie's upbringing, because, he's got 2 moms, so...
it wasn't always like that.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I will say this. I really don't know my dad that well because he was just a jackass.
Oh.
So, whatever.
Right? Oh, Justin, great point. Okay, so then after certain events, right, where it's not aiming down, how does that work?
Oh, no. Like, when it's, like, full blown out, it's like a goddamn shotgun. You can't control that shit.
So okay, so, and, like, most guys wake up with morning wood, right? So what's the first thing you do when you wake up? You go pee because you have to. So
yes.
So what do? Do you just, like, kind of, like, lean over and, like, all right, here we go?
All right. I don't want to sound like so chauvinistic or anything, but you grab a hold of your man meat and you just try to control it. It's like a fire hose. It's just got too much pressure behind it.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, we just, like, I don't know, goddamn. You just, like, spray, and, like, it sprays, and it goes everywhere, and you just try to control the spray direction. I don't know how to explain that.
You said that you can't control it.
You can't really sometimes when you've, like, all right, you've never woken up with a fucking morning wood. That's the worst thing on the planet. Like, the morning, like, it's just like that turns it into like any day of the week I could spell my name in the snow if I wanted to, but
wait,
once
in cursive?
You wake up, what was that?
In cursive?
I could do cursive if I wanted to.
Like, okay, so if you don't do cursive, if you do print and you're spelling your name with your P, to go from one letter to the other, do you, like, pinch it off? And then
I can do that.
Like, do you pinch it off, like, with only your, like, sphincter muscles? Or, like, do you have to use your fingers to, like, literally, like, and, like, grip your dick harder to where it, like, nozzles off?
What the fuck is a sphincter muscle? I just got this weird thing where I can shut it off. I don't even know what
asshole.
No, your urethra has a sphincter, too. Which is why...
Oh,
yeah.
I just learned that.
Okay, so surprise. So to go from your bladder into, your urethra, there's a sphincter at the base of your bladder that controls whether or not you are constantly leaking urine or you're not, right? And so when you go pee, the sphincter opens, and then when you're done, it closes, right? Ta-da! That's how you're not constantly wetting yourself. So I'm wondering if you have control over that. Like, because sometimes when they say, like for piss tests, right? They say pee for a second or two, stop, and then collect, you know, the remaining urine.
I can do that.
Yeah. So when you stop, that's when you close the sphincter.
See, every time I think a sphincter is
like
me and my like EMS friends and firefighter friends around the 4th of July will post on our Facebooks that like fireworks do not belong in your sphincter.
I mean, it's true, they don't.
No, they don't. And that's
So the term sphincter, I think asshole. So I mean, especially since I had like a lot of old grandparents like from World War II era. So when they say sphincter, I'm like asshole.
But I don't know, right? We're learning so much tonight, you guys.
Right? Asshole sphincters.
Pee holes or sphincters.
Titties.
Morning wood peeing.
Right. Titties have boob sweat.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh, it's disgusting.
I just always thought that was this weird, funky smell that boobs had. So whatever.
No, it's like your tits stick to your belly type thing. Well, I mean, mine are big enough to do that, so.
Oh. Yeah. I was about to say, my balls never stuck to my belly before, so I wouldn't know.
If that does, you need to take a picture of that and send it to us.
No, I don't want it, Pookie. Don't send it to us as a collective group.
Send it to Mom,
it just to Mom.
like your mother.
I don't want it. I don't. I don't want to see that.
I'd be like, hey, son, that's impressive.
No, like I see enough dick and balls at work. Like I don't want to see it when I come home.
Like, okay, like my big question, right, for you see so much dick and balls. It's kind of like the gynecologist thing, right? Where
I see a lot of vag
you
too.
see so much poo-tang that you just don't give a shit about anymore.
No, I definitely, like, you know, someone can waltz up to me, like, you know, naked, and I'll be like, oh, wait, where are your clothes? But then, like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna look, you know, hey, you want to present yourself? Sure, I'll fucking look at you. But I'm not gonna be then like, ee-hee-hee-hee, that's your dick. Or like, ah-ha-ha, that's your vag. Like, it's just...
I've seen a billion dicks. I've seen a billion pussies. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Now I sound
not
like a
impressive. I've seen many.
Right? What do you do at work? I look at dick. No.
Damn.
Right? No, you know, but...
I'd be a gynecologist because I'd be, like, scared to ever look at a...
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like, the only time, if you're a gynecologist, the only time you're looking at pussy is if it's, like, bad pussy, right? Nobody goes to the doctor if your pussy is good to go. Same with your dick.
But bad pussy just turns you off to it eventually, wouldn't it?
No, I know many male gynecologists who have a very large family, so obviously they have not been turned off by bad-looking pussy.
Okay.
Considering they, you know, they keep fucking hitting it.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, after you see so much nasty shit, after a while, eventually you're gonna get turned off, right?
I don't think so, because I think that makes you appreciate a nice one all the better. You know?
Oh, I never thought of that.
Ooh. Like in plastics, right? Especially when it comes to like titties, right? You know, we get some titties in there where you're like, oh, these are not good. And then we fix them and we're like, oh, so much better.
I guess. I don't know.
What do I do at work?
Never,
I look at dick, I look at vag, and I play with titties. That's my job. And feet. I do a lot of feet.
Feet? Yeah. You'd freak out if you saw my feet.
You're probably right. Like, I hate feet. But it's like, I don't know. Our foot doc likes me. He friggin', like, if I'm not in his room, he throws a tantrum. and he normally gets his way. So then I end up in his room, which is fine because I like being in there. He's a fun guy. We talk about a lot of interesting things. We played Never Have I Ever the other day. That was interesting. We learned a lot about each other. Because it wasn't like clean never have I ever. It was like dirty never have I ever. We're just like, where is this going? Yeah.
I don't know. This is the reason why I don't like surgery.
We're not talking about the patient.
It don't matter. You're still doing I've never over top of my lifeless corpse.
You're not lifeless. If you were lifeless, there's something terribly wrong.
Right.
And we would not be having any sort of conversation except push the drugs.
It's like you're so drugged up. You just don't give a shit.
Right? Dude, and freaking his room's so awesome because like we rock out to 80s music the entire time we're in there, right? And
You listen to Toto.
hell yeah. I bless the rain down in Oh yeah, no, dude. And if Journey comes on, best believe we turn that bit like it's already loud, but then we'll turn that bitch up like a lot to where you can definitely hear it throughout the entire section. And we're all fucking singing along. Like we're all fucking small town girls just living in a lonely world.
Yeah.
Take the midnight train. It's great.
If y'all living in a lonely world, please hit me up.
Right. Justin says, this is the kind of stuff that makes me wonder what happened when the docs were working on my balls. I don't know. We were probably talking about them. Not going to lie. We were probably like, this needs to get fixed. Obviously, I don't know what you had done to your scrotum and or your testicles. So that really just stems on where the conversation goes. But I do know, you know, my urologist, you know, the dick doctor, if you will, he gets on some crazy shit. And like, I asked him, I was like, are you like this or like, cause he says some of this shit and you're like, what? And then I asked him, I was like, are you like this with your wife? And he's like, do you not know how I met my wife? And I'm like, no. And he was like, she's a Cialis rep. He was like, I have to keep up with her. And I'm like, I want to be a fly on the wall in your house just to hear some of the outrageous dick jokes that gets told. It's amazing.
Dick jokes are always funny though, right?
Yeah. Oh, ooh, bilateral orchiopexy.
What you call me?
Ooh, bilateral. Well, okay, so one is both of them. These ones have good shape. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly, Justin.
What did you call me?
An orchiopexy?
What does that mean in layman's terms?
Hold on, I'll spell it out for you.
Oh god, you gotta spell it out for me? I'm that dumb.
I do. All right, you ready? This is the actual like definition. Is a surgery to move an oh. Wow, really? Justin, do you want me to put this out there?
He had one of those?
All right, so basically, he had undistended testicles, right? So they were still up in his abdominal area.
Okay.
So an orchiopexy is where we take the testicles and we move them into the scrotum.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like way
too late.
worse
Sorry,
than
Justin.
what it sounded like.
You put it out there, Justin. I'm just reading the definition. Sorry,
I mean,
Justin.
okay, Justin, if you wanted to put it out there, I had an issue when I was a young child. Only one of my testicular balls, or whatever you want to call them, dropped. And
Testicles?
Yeah.
Only one dropped? So you only have, like, one dropped ball? You have it. Pookie has a Uniball? Pookie? Pookie? Is his interwebs about to go?
I don't know. I kind of like, I still love you.
Hello.
Hello, Pookie!
Hey.
So you only have a Uniball?
No, it took 2 years for the other one to go doop. Or bloop. Or whatever word that makes it. But whatever.
Oh my god. Bloop.
Oh, apparently Justin says it's wrong. They must have put that wrong in my paperwork.
Okay.
Right. Oh, testicular torsions. Oh.
No. I've seen so many guys in the Army get these things, and every time I hear about it, it just makes me die inside.
Sounds painful.
Ow, right? I've heard. I've never experienced that. I don't have, testes. But no, I mean, that could be considered an orchiopexy because, they're taking your testicles and literally sewing them in place to your scrotum, which is kind of like what they do with undistended testicles. Is they do that procedure where they literally sew them to the scrotum. Ooh, I'm so glad you don't have to go through that anymore. Ugh. Ow.
My question always was with the testicular contusion, if they fucked up, they twisted it again, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a 50-50 chance, right? So when they twist it again, they have to just go back and twist it twice. How's that work?
Wait, what?
Someone told me if they if your ball sack, not your ball sack. I'm speaking layman's terms right now, but if your little fucking nuts switched around and tied up, they only had a 50-50 chance to figure out which way they flipped around.
Well, why do you think they only have a 50-50 chance? If we're going in there, we're gonna fillet it open.
But can you tell which way the ball's flipped around?
Yeah.
So that whole 50-50 bullshit is a lie?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right, that makes me feel so much better. I'm gonna start bouncing my balls all over the place.
No, because we get in there, we're gonna literally, fillet your scrotum open, right? To get down there, and we're gonna literally, where you're going to take out the testicles and everything that goes along with them, and we're gonna sit there and we're going to literally untie them and unknot them, right? And then we put them back in, and then we close you up.
Okay.
And
I got another question.
We're very gentle during this whole process, so don't you worry.
No, I got another question. What does a human testicle look like when it's in your hands?
An egg.
Really?
Yeah, they're white.
So it's like a white egg in your hand.
It's like this gray white color. Fun fact, they are the same color as an ovary.
That would make sense.
It would, wouldn't it? Ooh, your uterus, well, not yours, but mine, is this fuchsia pink color.
Too bad I'm colorblind. I don't even know what fuchsia pink is.
It's like I don't know, it's just this healthy pink color.
What is a healthy color.
You're colorblind. How the fuck am I supposed to explain to you what pink is? Take red, throw some white in there.
I can see red. I can see green. How far from the green and the red is it? Is it like a super hot red, or is it a super hot green?
No, you take red, throw some pink in there. There you go. Boom. Pink. Or take red, throw some white in there. Boom. Pink. Add a little bit of red, maybe some purple. Oh, fuchsia.
Add a little blue.
No, no blue.
You can't have purple without pink.
Well, that's why you throw in purple.
You know, like every time I come back into the conversation, it is like totally different. I'm like, what did I walk into?
Oh shit, is Justin calling? Aw, Justin, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Let me see if I can get you in here. I did not realize. Oh, you did leave us a voicemail. Let's call you back.
I wonder what it says.
Right? Oh, I almost drank my candle. That's not good. And now we wait.
Hello.
Hello, Justin.
Oh, you called me.
I did. Hello, Justin.
That works. Hello.
You're live on the air. What's up, dude?
There's just some confusion going on about what's happened, so I thought I'd call in to clarify exactly what went on.
Right. Oh my god, I can't wait to hear this voicemail. Like, so we were talking about balls, and we were talking about mine, and so I need to clarify.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, my whiskey's gone. I don't have enough for this. So that surgery I had, basically what had happened was ever since the time, I think the first time it happened, I was like senior year of high school sitting in fucking math class, and all of a sudden it felt like somebody stabbed me, like through the nuts into my leg, and I turned white and damn near fell out of my chair, and my math teacher was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck's wrong with you?" And I just like didn't say anything. I like manned it up and limped down to the principal's office, and the the front office ladies about had a heart attack. They're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I damn near passed out in the main office, and the school resource officer's like interrogating me. "Are you on drugs? Have you been drinking?" I'm like, "What the fuck, dude? I'm seriously about to die in pain." And you're like, "Are you high right now?" And by the time my parents got there to take me to the hospital, somehow it had untied itself, and I was just like, "Oh my God, thank God." Like this immediate relief, but it happened like 4 more times, one of which being when I was in the AIT. And so when they took me to Langley Air Force Base at the hospital, they're like, "Yeah, judging by the fact you said this has happened more than 3 times, we're going to recommend you for surgery to fix it so it doesn't happen again." Because, like, if you're in the middle of fucking Afghanistan and your balls try to strangle themselves, that's not good for the Army or for you. So, yeah, so they fixed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So, yeah, me too, because that was not fun at all. Like, I was on the wing of an Apache and trying to fix a component, and I twisted around the wrong way, and they decided to fucking flip whatever. And my buddies said I turned like the most translucent see-through shade of white and damn near fell off the fucking aircraft, and they caught me and like threw me in the chair in front of the hangar or whatever. And they're just like, "Well, call an ambulance? Like, what the fuck is going on?"
That's awesome. Well, thanks for calling in, and or I should say, thanks for answering when I called you back.
Oh, no problem.
All right, but I gotta go. I gotta wrap up the show.
All right, later.
Bye. Bye, Justin. The new
Bye, Felicia.
The new Felicia. All right, you guys. So, yeah, like I said, it's time to wrap up. So, tonight is Friday Night Freedom. Tomorrow is Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie. Sunday is the Green Room with Jason and Charlie and Kaz. Monday is the Monday edition with Ice and Flash. Tuesday we have Tied Up Tuesday with myself, Minx, and Grey Cloud. Wednesday we don't broadcast. Thursday we have Sergeant's Time with Ice, Mike Golf, and Doc Madness. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, we also have an afternoon show called Jose's Taco Truck. Now, that show starts at 12 noon Eastern. And then all of our evening shows start at 8 p.m. Eastern. Our next guest, oh, sorry, my nose itches. Our next guest is Major Crispin Burke. Mom, did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
I think of potatoes every time I see his first name.
Crispin. He's going to be on next Friday. So Major Crispin Burke has been serving on active duty in the Army since 2002. He is an Army aviator qualified with the UH-60 Blackhawk and the LUH-72 Lakota. His assignments include the 82nd Airborne during Hurricane Katrina, Joint Task Force Bravo in Honduras, the 10th Mountain Division during the Iraq War, and the Joint Multinational Readiness Center in Germany. Major Burke administers the blog Wings Over Iraq. He has been featured in the New York Times, Small Wars Journal, Foreign Policy, World Politics Review, and the Wall Street Journal. And then next Saturday, we're going to have Luis, right? Louis, or is it Lois?
Luis.
Luis Fernandez from CONUS Battle Drills. And so, yeah, so that'll be next Saturday. And that's our show. Boom. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for Friday Night Freedom. And we will see you here tomorrow. Yeah. So, all right. Bye, you guys.
Night.
Never see you here tomorrow.
Inside of all the guilt we try to hide, and I no longer have the will to drive all these promises for lies, and I will never give into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it will die and bring an end into this goddamn life. Already giving up on you, but never giving up on me. Flies eat away at every day that's lost and left to rot away. And you're trails of panting emptiness. Your feelings for me will digress, and I will never give into all the shit that life has put on you. The past will stay where it